So I'm using these OEM brand spring compressors for doing a little metal. I really like these things. They're super nice for that. So let's get them on there and yank the spring off. Spring's off. Get that sitting there. So now let's grab this arm here. And I'm thinking, well, actually, you know what? We'll just let that lay there. Let's grab a floor jack here. Grab that out of the way. Grab a floor jack real quick. And jack that thing up. Alright, guys. I'm ready to go up. Man, I just have a wickedly bad feeling that's going to hit, but let's find out. Wow. That's incredible. Look at this. I'm out of jack, so I can't even go up any higher. But look, I mean, we're literally perfect in front of this oil pan here. And I mean, it's got room. It can literally come all the way up. You can see there. That's crazy. Oh, I mean, those arms are stuffing up in there perfect. Like, absolutely perfect. Now, that flips over. I guess let me get this in while we have it up here, and we'll check the alignment on all this. It's really close. Like, really close. So let's check that yet. Alright, no, I'm a believer in Rock Krawler. The engineering on this kit is insane. Look at that. That bar literally bends right up to clear that factory diff cover. I mean, you would have to be crazy. I mean, this thing's a 2.5 inch lift on a factory bump stop. If I get up any closer than this, it's hitting. For sure. But the worst I'm going to do is I'm going to rail this diff cover into this arm. It's not hitting the pitman arm. It's not hitting the oil pan or nothing. And I mean, it's perfect up in there. Look at that. It's not even into the steering. It's wonderful. I can't. It's crazy. Crazy. I'm ecstatic with that. Now it needs some tweaking alignment wise and everything, but geez. I mean, that's crazy how well that kit fits. I mean, like I said, I already really like the Rock Krawler stuff, and I'm not endorsed by them or anything. I just simply bought a kit off of Facebook Marketplace used, got awesome customer service from them, wonderful customer service from them to rebuild it. Literally talked to the owner, part owner, whatever Jeremy is there. Gave me a whole bunch of advice on how to rebuild this thing. Sold me the parts to do it. More than he ever needed to. He could have told me to pound sand. And, you know, I rebuilt it here. It's a wonderful kit. Awesome. I can't say enough. It's crazy. I was terrified this truss was going to hit this oil pan. Just terrified of it. But it's perfect. I mean, that axle's ahead of the engine. So anybody that knows how that helps a vehicle climb a hill, that's wonderful. The factory setup wasn't this good. At full stuff, that truss would have been right here into this. But it's not with this kit. It's wonderful. It's A+. So let this thing back down. Let's see what that... Ooh, jeez. It's slipping off of there. Yeah, see, that's going to hurt our travel just a little bit there. Alright, so what I found is kind of a stupid problem. And I caused it, in a way. I even said in my other video I thought it was, and I completely forgot. So, if I disconnect that controller and just make this a 3-link, it works fine. Pretty much flexes out with almost no binding. So I was chasing this 5th arm here, this trailing arm or whatever, yeah, it'll come to me. Trying to name suspension parts after working all day is hard. Anyways, that whatever. Anyways, that arm I thought was the problem because it was the last one I put on here. Not the case. It's those bushings. When I welded that truss one, I got them hot. So it is what it is. I'm gonna jump online and see if I can order some sort of, a spherical or like a ballistic joint that goes in there would be perfect. They probably make one, but I'm not paying like $300 for a joint for that. So we'll see what I can find, and go from there. So I'll cut in once I look them up. But that's what's going on. Kind of sucks because I don't want to put this axle all the way in until I replace them. So, it definitely sucks. So I'll figure that out. I'm going to just do both while I'm here. There's no sense in putting this in and having a binding issue with it. So, yeah. Let's cut this here. We'll pick up probably Saturday. I'll put the ball joints in and work on the axle shafts and knuckles and all that fun stuff. Because I got a whole bunch of parts here that came in finally. Believe it or not, I didn't have one of these guys. 20 years of doing mechanical work. Never owned one of these. So I have one for bending brake lines up. I have a couple of these, but I use them for plumbing around my house and stuff. So I'm going to have a dedicated one I got now for keeping in my brake tubing repair kit. My brake flare tool kit. And then I just ordered some bulk what is this? 1/8 inch and 1/4 inch line. It's what I have a problem with back here, and we'll get to fixing this then. Is this guy right here is twisting on the line. So I'm going to just zip the line off right here, put a union, bend a new piece, flare it into here, and that'll fix the brakes up. Mint. Just mint, right? But anyways, that's kind of what's going on with that. So we go up and look up some parts then. Oh, also, separate video you guys are going to get to watch later. Look at this. Yeah, it's for my daughter. She's terrified of this 4-wheeler, but this will get her ripping around in the snow now. So that's what's going on with that. But like I said, we'll go up and try to find some parts for this front axle, get them ordered. Oh yeah, that's what else I was showing you. I'm all over the place tonight. In this other box from Detroit Axle, I don't know what your guys' thoughts are on their ball joints, but I got a set of their ball joints. I got a set of their tie rod ends. They didn't come in yet. And then I was gonna just get one wheel bearing, but a 2-pack of these was $10 more than buying one, and these supposedly came with the sensors, and I haven't looked, that I broke trying to get the old wheel bearings out, trying to get the old sensors out. I couldn't even get them out of the wheel bearings. Yeah, they're in there, sensors and all, so pretty awesome. So it was like 100 and I don't know, they were on sale on Amazon, you know. So I don't know if anybody out there's run them and what their thoughts are. But it was like $100 on sale, and then the ball joints with it were like another $500, and they're greasable uppers and lowers for a damn 30. I mean, I don't know. They only made hundreds of millions of these axles, so the parts shouldn't be expensive, and they should be made close enough to right. So we'll see. Yeah, let's go look up some bushings for that thing now. Alright, so here's what I found. These guys here were on Amazon for $5, basically. And everybody's complaining about how hard they are because you got to reuse that metal liner or whatever that's in there. Which probably does suck, but I'm thinking I can press them out, and that's probably not going to be the end of the world. And then typically, because I did a BMW race car and I did a Volkswagen Jetta that I autocrossed as well before, and what I had done with them is I pressed the bushings out. I had to reuse the metal collars, and I actually just threw them in a fire and burned the rubber out, and then cleaned up the metal, because I don't know that it really matters if they're heat tempered, whatever, by metallurgy stuff. I don't think any of it matters on those stupid bushings. And they sell these rubber ones that are actually cheaper for $8 here. I can get a set of factory replacement rubbers, but in my experience, the polys, that pin rotates easier if you lubricate them when you put them in. You get less binding with those, which I think is kind of important with that axle, because it's going to want to rotate on those, and I think with those it'll be a little bit better. So I'm gonna throw that on my list of stuff we got to order here. We're getting those, and I'm gonna get the rough country. Here, I'll show you. And I might wait on these now, because this parts list is getting immense. I have these on my phone though. These little rough country bumperettes for the front bumper. Oops, let me hold the screen straight there. For the front bumper, I wanna build a winch plate for the factory front bumper. I like the way the factory bumpers look on these things. I want to build a light bar, like a bull bar kind of, but a light bar just to put lights on. It doesn't need to be real high. I don't want it to look crazy. Just to put some lights on, and then I want to mount a winch to that factory front bumper. Then I want to get some sort of nice fender flare for it, and I'll figure out a rear bumper then. But I don't want anything that looks real crazy. This is supposed to be something cool for my wife to be able to take up to the off-road park, crawl around in. My daughter can ride in it. We can take the dog. If Dan and I want to put it in one of the endurance events that we do, we can put it in there, and it'll be pretty well set up for that. I got to address the locker and stuff in the rear. 35-inch, so small tire rig. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of my goal. So I'm thinking we're on the right path with it, with this stuff. But I want to keep that front bumper on there, so I want to order those. But I guess I got 2 tires that I got to pay for with this next cycle. Those polyurethane bushings. It's adding up. So it sucks. I'll have to order them here though and wait for them to come in now. So I guess we'll work on pushing ball joints in on Saturday morning here and getting these knuckles and stuff in.